Welcome to Stockholders' Equity, Part 6. By the end of this ACLIT, you should be able to allocate a cash dividend between preferred and common stockholders. This ACLIT is a continuation of Stockholders' Equity, Part 5. In the previous ACLIT, we assumed that ABC's preferred stock was non-cumulative. Now, for the sake of illustration, let's assume that in fact ABC's preferred stock was actually cumulative. Everything else remains unchanged. So the preferred stockholders' annual dividend calculation is still 7,000 shares outstanding times $10 par value per share times 4% dividend rate, which still equals $2,800. ABC's preferred stockholders are still entitled to $2,800 of cash dividends each year before common stockholders get even a penny. We'll use the same table to organize our work, and we'll still assume that ABC's Board of Directors declared cash dividends of $25,000 in 2015, $1,000 in 2016, and $10,000 in 2017. And for each year, the amounts in the last two columns still must add up to the total dividend declared for the year. The only difference between this example and the previous ACLIT is that in this one, the preferred stock is cumulative. We're ready to start. In 2015, ABC's Board of Directors declared a $25,000 cash dividend. The first thing we'll do in the calculation box is subtract the preferred's annual amount, $2,800, from the $25,000 dividend declared. This leaves a positive $22,200. Because the amount is positive, it's the portion of the dividend left for the common stockholders. So we'll enter $22,200 in the common dividend column and $2,800 in the preferred dividend column. The amounts in the last two columns must add up to the amount of the dividend declared, $25,000 in this case. Remember, our purpose in doing this is to split the dividends declared between preferred and common stockholders. This should look familiar because so far everything is the same as in our non-cumulative example, but just wait. For 2016, again, the first step in our calculation is to subtract the preferred's annual amount, $2,800, from the $1,000 dividend declared. We get a negative result, a negative $1,800. As before, whenever you get a negative result, you know immediately that there are no dividends left for common stockholders. Their share for the year is automatically zero. And since the amounts in the last two columns have to add up to the amount of the dividends declared for the year, preferreds get the whole $1,000. So nothing has changed yet from our non-cumulative example, but keep going. Our calculation changes for 2017. The first amount that we'll subtract from the $10,000 dividends declared is the amount that we shorted preferreds in the previous year, $1,800. The official name for this is dividends in arrears. Then we'll subtract the preferred's annual dividend amount, $2,800. This time the result is a positive $5,400. Since it is positive, the $5,400 is left for commons, and both the $1,800 and the $2,800, a total of $4,600, goes to preferreds. Double check, $4,600 plus $5,400 does equal the $10,000 dividends declared. If you're a preferred stockholder, do you want your shares to be cumulative or non-cumulative? If you're a common stockholder, do you want any preferred shares to be cumulative or non-cumulative? To check your answers to these questions, compare the total dividends that went to each set of stockholders in the two examples. If you are a preferred stockholder, you want your shares to be cumulative. If you're a common stockholder, you want any preferred shares to be non-cumulative. This concludes the ACLIT, Stockholders' Equity, Part 6.